How's it going, YouTube? Today we're going to be talking about The Matrix Revealed. I know there's a lot of information out there about The Matrix and what it really meant and everything like that, so I'm not going to rehash it or try not to rehash any old information. I'm just going to try to bring a new spin on it, a new light to it. Everybody knows that Neo represented the Jesus Christ figure, but not only did he represent Christ, he represented Krishna, he represented Buddha, he represented Zoroaster, he represented Moses, he represented Hercules, he represented Apollo, he represented all these different Christ figures in one movie. Well, certain parts he would represent it in part 2 or part 3, he would represent Buddha. But in part 1, he was mainly represented as Jesus the Christ. He followed the universal hero story. There's a book out called The Hero with a Thousand Faces that talks about the universal hero story. Carl Jung also talks about the archetypes that we have in our myths and our hero stories. We have a hero story that every culture tells. Every religion talks about their hero in the same way. They almost died when they were a baby or when they were about to find their way. The government is always out to get them. They always have to flee their homeland and go back to Egypt or go back to Africa, or go back to someplace primordial. Go back to someplace earlier than from where they're from. They always have to hide in a cave or something like that. And these are all just allegories to tell us our own spiritual journey, what we have to go through. So that's what The Matrix was about as far as the Christ figure. Everyone was searching for him. Everyone was looking for Neo. It was prophesied that the oracle prophesied that one day the man who could control the Matrix in any way he saw fit would return, and so everybody was searching for him. That first person who could control the Matrix any way he saw fit was the one who was searching for the new one. That was Morpheus. Morpheus was the first one. There's little clues and hints and things throughout the movie to show you that Morpheus used to be the man who could control the Matrix any way he saw fit. That's why he knew who to look for when he was looking for the one. Every hero has an oracle. Every hero, every prophet has an oracle that they have to go to, someone to tell them what to do, even though they know all and they see all and they're all knowing. They have an oracle that they have to go to. So Neo's oracle was, of course, her name was the Oracle. It was just copied off of the oracle at Delphi, which was where the Greeks would go to get their information. You have to understand the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit aspect in the Matrix. Morpheus represented God the Father. Trinity represented the Holy Spirit, the Mother, God the Mother, and Neo represented God the Son, the Christ. And Cypher represented Lucifer. He set Neo up. Cypher set Neo up and helped Neo realize his Christ potential. See, Lucifer never is really like the Christians proclaim, like he's the evil, be aware of him. I mean, there is evil in the world, but Lucifer is there to help you realize your Christ potential. You know, the evil in the world is the evil that we cause. There is no one causing evil but us. If everyone today put down their guns, there would be no more war. So we're the ones who's causing the evil. There's no devil outside causing the evil. Lucifer helps us reach our Christ potential. He puts us through fire So in the Matrix, Cypher sold out Neo. He called the agents on him. The agents represent the angels of God. The architect represents, well, that's part two, and I'll get onto that later, but the architect represents the mind of God and God himself. The oracle represents the heart of God. So, anyways, Lucifer or Cypher sent the angels or agents to get Morpheus. And so Neo sacrificed his life for Morpheus's life because of what the oracle told him. Now, the oracle didn't tell him the truth or a lie. She just told him one of them was going to have to die, which was true and not true at the same time. Neither one of them had to die because Neo saved him. But in the end, Neo did die. But he was raised again to life, which represents that Christ figure. So all in all, The Matrix is nothing more than a story of Christ. The Matrix Part 1 is the story of Christ. His finding out that he is the Christ, his death, his resurrection, and his ascension into heaven. As you see at the end, he ascends into heaven with this new knowledge, this new gnosis. But that's not the end of it. There's part 2, which is the life of Christ, which is more of a Buddhist centered movie instead of a Christian centered movie. Then there's part 3, which is more of a Aquarius love child, hippie centered, the war is over, type movie. So those are the 3 different aspects of the Matrix, but we're just talking about Matrix Part 1. That's Matrix Revealed. I hope it helped you out. I hope it helped you learn a little bit more about the Matrix. If you have any questions, just comment or whatever, and I'll try to answer them, because I look at the comments because I don't have nothing else to do. So, alright, peace.